A time comes in a man's life to pass down all the swear words he knows to his son. An engine swap is that time. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Akorn, and today is Friday, which means it's time for Gen X and Millennial memes, where we mix memory lane with a little sarcasm, some bad commentary, and a whole lot of memes your kids just won't understand. If you like this series and want to see more, please enjoy this video to the end. Hit that like and subscribe, and share the laughs and memories with your family, friends, and social media. We have some good memes and memories today. But first, here is today's pop quiz. What was the real name of the Ultimate Warrior before he legally changed it to Warrior? If you think you know, drop it down below in the comments. And then stay tuned because we'll give the answer later on in the show. I was today years old when I learned that the word footage refers to the fact that motion picture film is measured in feet. Most of the younger generation don't even know what film is anymore. Of course, I can't blame them. That pretty much completely went away when digital video recording came on the scene. You're fine, you're fine. Don't say anything to Mom. For some of us, every night is an 80s night. In some ways, I guess that can be true. I had this meme here on a show a few weeks ago. Somebody made the meme. If you remember this duo, you probably have bad knees and gray hairs. Okay, just hear me out. You know, if they want $70,000 for it right now, what did it cost back in 1988 when it was brand new? Tired of crowded fishing spots? People crossing over your line? Try the Razorback anti-fishing device. Reclaim that honey hole as your own while everyone else reties. That's one way of doing it, I guess. How lucky are you? Me. That's pretty bad. Missed every number by one digit. (1979) Corvette America. There was 6 of these 1979 4-seater Corvettes that was built. There's only 2 that's still surviving today. Little interesting piece of history there. Clackers, also known as knockers, click-clacks, and kabangers, now that's one I never heard of, were a popular toy in the early 1970s. 2 acrylic balls swung together, made a loud noise, smacked too hard, and they shattered, spraying children with clacker shrapnel. Banned in 1981. If I had to guess, I'd say most of our toys has been banned by now. And the ones that hasn't been, the manufacturers just stopped making the good ones. That's pretty dark, actually. But it's not cannibalism, so technically. How many of you have heard about this? I was today years old when I learned Goofy's name is not Goofy. His full name has variously been given as George Geef, Goofus D Dog, and Gigi Goof. His son's name is Max Goof, and his father's is Benjamin Goof, leading one to believe that Goofy is simply a nickname. Why do I love old cars? Let's see. There's no GPS to track me. It can be fixed with simple hand tools. No screens. The smell of the exhaust. Better connection with the road. Its beauty can't be recreated thanks to the Department of Transportation. That is all very true. If someone from 1950 woke up in 2025 what would be the most surprising thing to them? The real question is what wouldn't be? Just forget about all the technology and other advancements and all this stuff. But if you pulled somebody out of 1950 and just dropped them in 2025 today, they would be absolutely dumbstruck trying to wrap their head around the fact how the U.S. went from what they knew and how it has degraded so badly to what it is today in just 75 years. And most of that is just looking at how people and society has fallen to the state that it's at in these days. I came across this remake of the original Super Mario Bros. Game for the Nintendo Entertainment System this week. What do you guys think? It's 1982 and you're going to the movies. What movie are you going to see? Well, out of the ones that I see listed in this newspaper, I'm gonna say Rocky 3. What movie would you guys choose? Runs Good, $75. Runs Gooder, $76. Now these here are before the time of Gen X. However, I know a lot of you boomers here on the channel remember things like this. If you were blessed to know your grandma, what was the one thing that you remember most about her? How much that she loved her children and grandchildren, even though some of them did not deserve it. I'm positive that you know what this is, because let's face it, we're old. Stop scrolling. I'm here to remind you about the chicken your mom told you to remove from the freezer. The secret to our strong immune system. I'd say that that's at least partially true. You can only bring back 3. Out of these shown here, I would have to choose John Candy, Patrick Swayze, and Steve Irwin. Who would you guys choose? No one. How's things going? Me. Oh, they're going great. Nothing's better than losing on the People's Court and then having Doug treat you like you're a stupid piece of on your way out. I swear, those other girls at the lake don't mean anything to me. I could definitely see some of us doing this. However, I don't know why his pizza is on top of the box instead of inside the box. One has to go along with all of their music. Are they serious? They have Beyonce on here? That's not even a choice. That's just automatic. Today's pop quiz question was, what was the real name of the Ultimate Warrior before he legally changed it to Warrior? The answer is James Bryan Hellwig. If that's the answer you dropped in the comments earlier, you get 100 points, A+. I'm positive you'll know exactly what this is because we drove real cars. Rate my grandma's setup. She's got the old style Singer sewing machine table with a newer sewing machine and even got backlighting. I wonder if it's RGB. Mount St. Helens, before and after its very destructive eruption in the spring of 1980. Don't be late to class. Take a look at this Amityville, New York high school parking lot shot from 1982. Yep, that's a Superbird, just a 12-year-old used car at the time. No different than spotting a 2012 Charger in a lot today. How cool is that? We'd take any of those on that lot today, wouldn't we? Even just the station wagon. One minute you're young and fun, and the next you're turning down the stereo in your car to see better. I guess that is true. Stomach sleepers, side sleepers, me who rotates in my sleep like a rotisserie chicken. I am a side sleeper, however, there's still a lot of nights that I just go back and forth from one side to the other. Give yourself 1 point for each thing you've never done. I'm not going to read all of these, but apparently this must be for like the late millennials, and whoever got the most points wins. And you're trying to get a high score. However, I'd say with most everyone here on the channel, like me, you probably got 0 points. But that's okay, I don't mind, because this is one test where the best possible score is a failing grade. No, it's not a car show. It's just the normal evening traffic after everyone got off work back in the 70s and 80s. Tylenol and ibuprofen trying to figure out what part of my body to work on first. I was today years old when I found out about yellow watermelon. Seriously? This is something that people don't know about? I remember us growing yellow watermelons when I was a kid in our gardens. As a matter of fact, one of the biggest watermelons we ever grew was one that we didn't even know about. A vine had actually trailed off into the weeds, and in the fall, when my dad took the tractor to bush hog, he actually hit the end of that watermelon and cut off about 1/3 of it. But even then, there was still plenty enough left for all of us. You can call me old all you want, but my generation made music that will never be matched again. That is very true. Unlocking characters before. Unlocking characters now. Nurses will be spending 20 minutes looking for blood veins, something a mosquito locates in the dark while singing. I hadn't exactly thought of it like that, but they're not wrong. Me ready to worsen a situation with some unwanted humor. Well, it was funny to us at least. How cool it is versus your age. Skateboarding, living alone, complaining about young people, juuling, and yes, it's a real thing. Apparently the same or similar to vaping. Being good at patty cake, being told that you look older, celebrating your birthday. When people say, enjoy them while they're young, they're talking about your knees and hips, not your kids. Well, that is possible. If you watch Jaws backwards, it's a heartwarming story about a shark who gives arms and legs to disabled people. Yeah, I don't know about that one though. The older I get, the more I regret all the people I've lost over the years. Maybe being a trail guide wasn't such a great idea after all. Does anyone know what this is? Are you seriously telling me that the younger generation don't know what a juicer is? Now, I thought this here was a pretty cool idea. However, I can't really figure out what this trailer is supposed to be for. Because of the panels that is on each side there, you can see inside that they have a wheel well, so you're not going to be sleeping back there. At first, I thought it was just for storage, which I guess is still possible. I just don't know what those two panels are supposed to be for. If any of you guys know, drop it down in the comments. I'd be interested to hear. When someone calls my phone, instead of just texting like a normal person, I'd like to dedicate this to my mom. It's called I Asked for Transformers, and You Got Me GoBots. For all of you men, if you know what this is, make a point to drop it in the comments. It's sad to see one of our 80s heroes living on the streets. I'm at the age where the only club you're gonna catch me at now is Sam's Club. Yeah, that's absolutely true. You can only pick 3 free things for life. Number 1, groceries. I'll take that above everything. Number 2 would be gas. And number 3 would be housekeeping. What 3 would you guys choose? Mom, when you tell the truth, you won't get in trouble. Me tells truth. Mom. My kids laugh because they think I'm crazy. I laugh because they don't know it's hereditary. Unfortunately, there's way too many things that's hereditary. I had a thought, and then I had another thought. They bounced off each other, and now I can't find either one of them. That hits too close to home. This boy told his father that he pierced his ear to make him look older. This is what his dad did. I think that might have been just a little bit of an overreaction. Disney gave us memories. DreamWorks gave us memes. There are plenty of DreamWorks memes. However, there are far more Disney memes these days, but most of them have to do with their live-action remakes, and it's not been good for Disney. Me in 2004. The graphics can't get any better than this. The graphics in 2004. That's basically true. Back then, this was good graphics compared to what was previously. I got about $50 on me. Y'all think it's enough? Well, maybe if it was back in the late 90s, maybe early 2000s. It certainly isn't enough now. But just think how much $50 bought back in the 70s and 80s. In my day, we had to stand to play video games. Yeah, that's true. And as far as that goes, it was actually a lot better for you, too. They've just been figuring this out in recent years and started making these standing office desks and other things of that nature. 188 miles per hour. The final episode of MASH aired on February 28th, 1983. How many of you guys have never seen the last episode? Drop it in the comments. I'd be interested to see how many of you haven't watched it. And I'll end today's show with this. When I was a boy and saw scary things in the news, my mother would say to me, "Look for the memers. You always see memers coming up with great stuff in these kind of times." If you guys agree, hit that like button. I want to thank all of you who watched this video to the end, as it really helps to support the channel. I'd also like to announce that as of today, the brand new Akornz Stash merch store is now open. We brought back the most popular designs, and we've added 1 or 2 new ones. So if you want to pick up a t-shirt, hat, mugs, and more, and also support the channel at the same time, then head over to the Akornz Stash merch store and grab yours today before it disappears faster than Saturday morning cartoons. The link to the store is down below in the video description. Just a quick note here before I close out today's show. I've had a number of comments and emails concerning last Friday's show being canceled. Basically, I had a couple different migraine headaches last week, and I just lost an entire day because I thought I still had another day left to finish Friday's show in time. Well, as you all know, I was wrong. Some of you that's been here on the channel for a long time know that I've mentioned about some of my health issues in the past, including the TBI that I had in 2019. But as I mentioned on the short post last Friday, one of the things that I suffer from is migraine headaches. The prescription I take for these migraines has reduced them to only occurring about every 5 to 10 days, but sometimes they're more often. And most of the time they last about 24 hours, but they can also be longer. Like they used to be before I started taking the prescriptions, they would often last for about 72 hours. And even then, I've had the next migraine set in less than 1 day later. I do appreciate all the suggestions from everyone about things that can help migraines. However, it just depends on the person and what is actually causing them. I have tried a lot of naturopathic, medicinal herbs, and essential oils over the years. In any case, there may be some weeks, especially when I have more than one, that either you may see a best of video instead of the regular show, or like last week, I may just screw up and miss the show completely. Hopefully, I don't do that again, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. I just wanted to mention that real quick and to thank all of you for the comments, emails, and well wishes that everyone sent last week. I really do appreciate it. That's everything for today, but I'll see you guys back here on Sunday's show. Until then, I thank you all for watching. You guys take care and stay safe this weekend. This is Akorn, over and out.